Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to the June Ordinary Council meeting and officially open at 4 p.m. Our attendance, we have Councillor Alsop, Councillor Hudson, Councillor Metcalfe, who's joining us via Teams, Councillor Sewell and Councillor Ward and myself. Our staff joining us is Miss Manisha Bardika, our CEO, Mr. Ben Forbes, our Manager of Infrastructure and Projects, Miss Carly Rose, Manager of Governance and Community Services, and Mr. Solomon Wiley, Manager of Corporate Services. We have nil members of the public. We have Councillor Trepp, our President, as an approved leave of absence. Our next item is applications for leave of absence for any upcoming further meetings. Do any councillors seek leave of absence? No. We have nil. Item 6. Beg your pardon, I've missed over item 4, disclosure of interests. Do any councillors wish to disclose any interest for any of the items in the agenda today? So nil. Okay, we'll jump back to item 6, petitions and presentations, which we have nil. Item 7 is confirmation of the minutes of the previous meeting, our OCM, which was held on the 27th of May. And our recommendation that by simple majority, pursuant to section 5.22 and 3.18 of the Local Government Act 1995, the minutes of the OCM held 27th of May as presented in attachment 7.1a be confirmed as a true and correct record proceedings. Could I please call over? Councillor Hudson and a seconder. Councillor Alsop. Can I please have a vote for that? Councillor Metcalfe.
Affirmative.
Thank you. That's 6 carry. Next item is the minutes of the Audit and Risk Committee meeting, which was held on the 5th of June in attachment 8.1a. We have a recommendation that the minutes of the A and R committee held on the 5th of June as presented in attachment 8.1a be received. Can I please have a mover? Councillor Ward and a seconder. Councillor Hudson, can I please call for vote? Councillor Metcalfe?
Yeah, 4.
6-0, thank you. Okay, following from that, meeting, we have some recommendations that came through. So item number 9.11 is to adopt the Risk Dashboard Quarterly Report for June 2025 as presented in attachment 9.1a and recommendation to the council that it adopts it. And also some ongoing allocation of resources and budget to address them. So can I please have a mover for that recommendation, please? Councillor Ward and a seconder. Councillor Alsop. All those in favour?
Yes.
Metcalfe. 6-0 carried. Another item that came out of the A&R was a change to the title from Audit and Risk Committee to the Audit, Risk and Improved Committee, ARIC, in line with the local government reforms. And there was also an updated terms of reference presented to the committee. So the recommendation is for those 2 items. Can I please have a mover for that item, please? Councillor Ward and a seconder. Councillor Hudson. And can I please have a vote for that? Councillor Metcalfe?
Yes.
6-0 carried. the last item in regards to that audit and risk was the appointment of an independent chair, which is again in alliance with the Local Government Act reform, that we have an independent presiding chair. And the committee recommends to council that Miss Tracy Jones be appointed as the independent presiding chair. So I need a mover for those two items, please. Councillor Sewell and a seconder. Councillor Ward. All those in favour?
Yes.
Councillor Metcalfe. 6-0 carried. I have no announcements without discussion. Moving on to item 11 is our May monthly financial report, which is presented to the council as a statement of financial activity to the period of the end of May 2025. Just a note on there, it's showing a deficit of 48,000 due to a timing of the receiving of some income. And moving forward, we would like to see a stronger cash flow position. So our recommendation is to receive the draft statutory financial activity statement report for period of May 2025. Can I please have a mover? Councillor Hudson and a seconder. Councillor Sewell. Anyone like to speak to that?
No, thank you. Thanks.
Can I please have a vote? Councillor Metcalfe.
Yes.
6-0 carried. Thank you. Item 11.2 is our list of accounts paid for May 2025, along with our April credit and Caltex card statements, which are presented to the council under delegated authority for May 2025. Just a note on there before we go to the motion. There was some missing EFT numbers in regard to the report. Can I ask the CEO to please speak with regards to the reasoning?
Through the President, there has been these identified errors, which we believe will be a technical error. There is no significant finding in the bank. It has all reconciled. But if I, through the President, can ask the Managing Corporate Services to give his comments.
Yes, an investigation was made to see why that EFT fell through, and when we checked the banks, everything was okay, and the reconciliation was right. When we went back into the system, we couldn't ascertain why that. So what we have done is to seek advice from the system providers, and we're still awaiting to hear from them.
Thank you. Is there any further input before we move the recommendation? Okay, so as the motion lays, I'm not going to read the whole lot, but we're adopting from EFT 13536 to EFT 13675 for the attachments 11.2A and 11.2B as detailed in the motion. Can I please have a mover? Councillor Alsop and a seconder. Councillor Ward. Can I please have a vote? Councillor Metcalfe.
Yes.
6-0. Any further discussion? Okay. Moving on to 11.3 is the 2025-26 schedule of fees and charges. There was discussion in a workshop prior to this in regard to having a 4.5% increase to this. So this is just a formality to adopt those decisions. So we need absolute majority, section 6.16 and section 6.19 to approve the 4.5% increase as stated in the motion and recommendation. Councillor Ward and the seconder, Councillor Sewell. Can I please have a vote of 4? Councillor Metcalfe.
Yes.
6-0. Thank you. Moving on to item 11.4 is a policy review, 3.2 of our investment policy. This was identified in last year's audit, and just an update because it was a bit outdated. We have included an addition of an investment procedure within the policy. Pretty straightforward. So can I please have a mover that council by absolute majority adopts the policy 3.2 investment policy, incorporating the amendments outlined in attachment 11.4A. Councillor Hill. And a seconder, please. Councillor Hudson. And can I have a vote for?
Yes.
6-0. Carried. Moving on to item 11.5 regarding the Dowerin Amateur Swimming Club reserve account. This is for council to consider establishing a reserve fund to hold community raised funds on behalf of the swimming club to be available should the club re-establish in the future. So as the motion is laid, it's absolute majority that we establish a Dowerin Amateur Swimming Club reserve fund for this purpose. And it's only for holding funds on behalf of the swimming club for future use. And we advise the swimming club that funds may only be accessed through formal request and approval by council. Can I please have a mover? Councillor Hudson and a seconder. Councillor also, what either of you like to speak?
Happy to go forward.
Thank you. Can I please have a vote for?
Yes.
Councillor Metcalfe. 6-0 carried. Thank you. Moving on to item 12.1 is the Australia Day Honours Committee Terms of Reference. This is for us to consider endorsing the terms of reference, which was discussed in the February meeting of the Australia Day Committee debrief, to guide the process for selection moving forward for Australia Day. So the recommendation is that we endorse these terms of reference as attached, and that the terms of reference will be made publicly available and provided to the future Australia Day panel as governance. Can I please have a mover? Councillor Ward and the seconder. Councillor Sewell, like to speak?
No, thank you.
May I have a vote for?
Yes.
Councillor Metcalfe. 6-0 carried. Thank you. Next item is 12.2. So this is the endorsement of the 2025-2035 ISP. So endorsement, not adoption. So endorsing to put out for public comment and consultation so that we can gather some feedback and hopefully move the document at the next OCM. So recommendation is for council to endorse excuse me, the ISP for the purpose of public consultation for a minimum period of 21 days, and notes that a report will be presented to council following the consultation period to discuss any comment and feedback that we received. Please have a mover. Councillor Alsop, seconder. Councillor Ward, all those in favour?
Yes.
Councillor Metcalfe. 6-0 carried. Thank you. Next item is the 12.3 is the WA Electoral Commission local government ordinary election 25, where we're seeking council to declare the electoral commissioner to be responsible for the local government ordinary election by postal election, which will be held on the 18th of October 2020. So straightforward formality that we have done previously. So we're declaring that in accordance with section 4.204 of the Local Government Act 95, the electoral commissioner will be responsible for the conduct of the 2025 ordinary election together with any other elections or polls which may be required, and decide in accordance with section 4.612 of the Local Government Act that the method of conducting an election will be a postal election. Councillor Ward, seconder. Councillor Hudson, all those in favour?
Yeah.
Councillor Metcalfe, 6-0, carried, thank you. Moving on to item 12.4, elected member remuneration review for 25-26 financial year. This is seeking council's input to updating our meeting attendance fees and annual allowances for elected members in accordance with our Salaries and Allowances Tribunal 2025. This hasn't been reviewed since 2021. They're asking for some input. So at the moment we have a recommendation that we increase some of our adopting the following meeting fees for elected members from 1st of July to $400 per council meeting for president, $230 per council meeting for councillors, $400 per special council meeting for president, $230 per special council meeting for councillors, $100 per committee meeting for all members, $250 per committee meeting for independent RIC members, and sets the following annual allowances of $8,000 per annum for Shire President and $4,500 per annum for the Deputy Shire President. Could I please ask a mover for that? Councillor Hudson. Can I get a seconder? Councillor Ward, can I have either of you speak to the motion?
I'd actually, just to get it going, I'd moved it, but would prefer that our fees for the councillors remain the same. No, it's a lower side of the other councillors around us, but most of us are just volunteers, and I'm quite happy to keep it the same. We'll be asking for an amendment.
Thanks, Councillor Hudson. Councillor Ward.
I'm happy to keep them the same as what they are. Yeah, we're all volunteers, so ask for an amendment to this motion would be appreciated.
Okay, so we're moving to do an amended motion. So I have a amended motion that council by absolute majority notes the Salaries and Allowances Tribunal determination of 2025 effective from the 1st of July 25, agrees that no amendments will be made to the meeting fees for council, special or committee meeting attendances effective from 1st of July 25, and 3, adopts a meeting fee of $250 per committee meeting for the independent presiding member of the Audit and Risk Committee effective from 1st of July 2025. Can I please have a mover for the amended motion? Councillor Hudson, and a seconder. Councillor Ward. Any more?
Just a fair system in my mind, so
Thank you.
do that.
Can I please have a vote for the amended motion?
Yes.
Councillor 6-0, carried. Thank you. Okay, item 12.5, excuse me, is the election of committee presiding member, presiding and deputy presiding members for the Assets and Works Committee and Australia Day Honours Committee in accordance with the Local Government Amendment Act of 2024, which requires these appointments to be made by absolute majority of council. So we have quite a lengthy recommendation. But in a nutshell, we've appointed, the motion reads, appointing Councillor Robert Trepp as presiding member of the Assets and Works Committee, appointing Councillor Wayne Alsop as the deputy presiding member of the Assets and Works, appointing Councillor Bev Ward as the presiding member of the Australia Day Honours, appointing Councillor Nadine McMorrin as the deputy presiding member of the Australia Day Honours Committee, and noting the Bushfire Advisory Committee and LEMAC Committee are not subject to these requirements, and confirms that following each OCM ordinary local government election, council will appoint committee members and elect relevant presiding and deputy presiding members. So could I please have a mover for that? Councillor Hudson, and a seconder, Councillor Alsop. All those in favour?
Yes.
Councillor Metcalfe. 6-0 carried. Thank you. 13 is the officers' reports of assets and works. We have nil. 14 is urgent business, which there's nil. 15 elected members' motions of nil. We have no matters behind closed doors. I'd like to thank you all for attending our June OCM, and we will officially close at 4:19 p.m. Thank you.